Parang daming red.
Yeah, everyone. So, who's in charge with safeguarding here? Make sure you won't hit each other.
Ready?
Sabay-sabay ba?
Pa? Sabay-sabay daw ba?
Sabay-sabay.
Masadali, ano muna natin yung chair.
Blindfold now, please. Blindfolds.
Kisha.
Okay, rolling out, blindfolds.
Oh my God, do you have
Can we start in 10, 9, 8,
Dandaan mo na kung saan daan.
blindfold?
7.
Dito na lang.
Dito yung makakal.
Ay, scattered.
6.
Only one line yan. Sinong walang blindfold sa likod?
Ako po.
Ready na. Goalie.
Roll, understand.
9.
4. Okay. 3.
Joseph, ah?
Ikaw mag-guide.
Just hold our hands. So,
Two.
we're one.
Yeah.
The
Make sure
shoulder.
make sure they don't.
3. Ano, connected na?
Nakaline kayo.
We're not allowed to pick up.
Is it connected?
Are we allowed to pick up or just the front?
No, ulo ba?
Everyone is allowed to pick up?
Okay.
Bro, everyone is allowed to pick up? Sorry.
Which one will pick up?
or just the one in the
Fourth
front?
one or everyone?
Everyone with a blindfold can pick up. So it's up to you how you work it out. Okay, sample. Let me do this day first. Okay.
Ready na sila. Yan, kukunin na namin.
Okay.
Testing now.
Let's say who's the charge? Your team? Yeah. Group 1, so you're getting blue. You're getting blue, okay? Okay, and go.
Di pala kailangan a place of less. Sabi niya, bro.
Okay, stop. That's the practice.
So there's no worship song. I don't worship song.
So, to the left, right, and
Because we stick on the lead line.
It's okay.
Yeah, we did that one. That's a good one anyway. Anyway, we have at least unique tayo. Yeah.
We just say A, B, C, D, that's enough.
You can see that everyone's very competitive. You know what, man? What's the price? Bragash? What's the price?
No, if they ask what is everything.
Where?
If they ask what is
Are we gonna be picking up all?
I don't know.
This is the only person to pick up. Pero wala sa rules yung ano eh, pag mali ang pick up mo.
Yeah.
Penalty, wala naman yun.
Baka may loss.
Dapat pick up ba?
Sa gilid ka lang.
Pampagdampot na lang lahat.
But you need to be connected to each other.
Okay.
You cannot be
Paano pag gano'n? Sabi mo dam.
This is okay?
Okay.
Ano?
Okay, that's not alam.
Pick up everything. Ha?
Okay.
Pick up everything.
Okay, go, go.
You watch ahead.
Once I touch it, para pick upin ko na.
So let's go on. When you see it, yeah.
Go back, go back now. Go back there. Start up.
Just,
Okay.
Peace out. Yeah. Put it on. Ah, bro.
Okay, okay.
Wala ka na.
Okay. So, cheer.
Ikaw,
So, we will start. This cheer for us to start. Yellow.
Ready na kami. Ready ba? Ready na kami. Ready na. Ready ka.
Wala. Wait. Before start.
Hindi ka pwede.
They will get something. Yellow. Who's there? Green. Blue. Wala. Blue. Who's there? Okay. Let it off. Take it off after the win. You'll do it after the win. Okay. 3 minutes now. 3 minutes. Okay. Blindfolds on and
Oh, ready na kami. Ready na kami.
go. Last 1 minute. 16, 5,
Explain tayo.
Okay, go, go, cheers. Back to your chairs. Big hand to red team. Okay. You said when you win, you do the soft dance. Pero minus.
O sige, -5 na. 18,
There was no rule not to get. Yeah. But there was no rule saying don't get. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Okay. Now we can voice the complaints.
Dapat pala.
Yung mga natalo ko, ano? Yung mga natalo. And CFDP. Third place.
Next year.
Wala bro, wala kasi.
Second place. Any complaints?
What's the process, bro?
I think there should be another part of that rule wherein if you collected a different color, it should be counted.
That was not part of the rule.
But because it's not part of the rule, okay, we accept.
So the winning team. What do you say? How did you manage to achieve that? What's the concept of what you did? It's all positive words. Follow the leader. Who's the leader there?
Don't say bad word.
No bad words.
No violation, say bad word.
But really, what have you learned from that activity on the positive side? Anything? Bro, anything that you learned from that, bro?
I think teamwork, that's the best thing. Yeah, you're working. Teamwork. Yeah. Memorize all those things.
Okay, bro, if there's anything that you've learned from that, what did you learn from that activity, bro?
I think it's more of communication, how we communicate with each other, and active listening as well.
So they're not actively listening. Bro, what have you learned from that? Bro, if anything, bro.
Is listening, and on the other hand as well is obedience to the command.
We did that too.
Who was commanding here? So winning team, bro.
We know those stay together.
Okay. Bro, stay connected.
I've learned that we need to pick up the pieces.
Bro, being the one giving the instructions, bro, what have you learned?
Just command and command. They will follow.
So, stand your cross, but if you can face here. So you go if you can face here. It's okay. Essentially, that's why we have the basic worship pattern in CFC. Because without the basic worship pattern, we'll do our own thing. We'll have separate things. So there's no flow, there's no structure, and there's no order in our worship. Can you imagine that? it's so chaotic a while ago. Pero papagulo lang yun. Sigaw, sigaw. Ah! It can be like that in our worship, you know? We can be, if you listen to that voice, you'll be distracted. Yeah, I think that's the reason why brought now she did it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's for us to be reminded that distractions are abounding, even in worship. There's so many. That's why the main aim is for us to be able to have that proper flow, order, and sequence of our worship. For us to be reminded that, you know, we have to be in God's presence, and for us to, we can turn around, you have a stick back. So we have to know the elements of worship. There's actually just 5. The first is, of course, the community. That's us. There's no worship without the communities. It starts with each and every one. To be present. But remember, even when 2 or more are gathered in His name, He's there. Do we do that sa household? Kahit dalawa lang, even 2, we do that. So of course, the community is what? Charismatic. So led by the Spirit, and that's what we always say. So the first one is community. There's no worship happening without the community. It's important. And the next one is what? Sino yan? Kamuta eh. Asa one while ago. Kamuta na yun. Kikuloy. CFC from Canada. I just got this picture from Google. But who's that? The worship leader. Yeah? That's the second element of worship. And question, can sisters lead the worship? Sis, can sisters lead the worship?
Old family. Yeah.
So when is that possible?
When the brother is available for.
Anyone?
With the whole ministry, whole household.
Yeah. So essentially, of course, if all female are there in the assembly, if it's a sisters activity, if all female, okay, so you can lead the worship. Can a household member lead the worship? Who's a household member here? Or everyone's a leader? Bro, can a household member lead the worship?
Yes.
Yes? When and why and how?
During the household meeting, is that the question?
Yeah.
When?
Can a household member lead the worship during the household?
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you tried that? Have you tried asking a household member? Why would you do that? Bro. So if you ask, say no. Say, I mean, if you ask, that's a good way to train. That actually is so empowering. I think that's what we did in CFC UK's. Like what was, I'm surprised Borg Gamzi's household head, unit head, and YFC something, the YFC coordinator. So really, we need to empower everyone to be able to share the role. I think that's what's burdening CFC UK so much. You know, dual roles, triple roles, quadruple roles.
You can stick that, halimbawa, mag-umpisa ninyo na mag-meet na sa household na magkakira, pili ito ang
No, bro, it's the discernment of the household head, but really, ideally, you have to discern. I think you can have God's leading of who in the household. Don't feel bad if you're not asked, but at the same time, be happy for the brother who's asked to lead the worship. Yes. Please don't. You mean impromptu? Don't do that. I think you have to properly discern. Talk to the brother before, because he has to prepare. It's hard to do that impromptu. It's hard, and you have to also address the needs of the membership. If you go, because for example, I'm so blessed. My last household 2 years ago, I can see all potential leaders in there, and it's so nice to have them be empowered. Every household to be able to lead the worship, or even to lead just a prayer. And it's something that we have to understand because we have to be St. Paul's or Timothy's. We have to do that. So yes, for training purposes or to be discerned as a future household head. Can you see that? Yes. So we turn on the lights again. Clear? Yeah. So who leads worship in a CFC chapter prayer Sunday? Who are chapter heads? Bro Nick? Roy? Olito? Chapter heads, bro? So who leads the worship, bro, in the chapter assembly? Unit heads. Sometimes household head. Who leads, bro? discern to lead the household. That's what I did. When I said I was guilty before, kanina, when I discerned this brother, because that's what being done at the unit head. I was asked to discern who to lead the worship. So instead of me, I pass it on to the household heads. But really, it should be you, chapter heads. Chapter assembly. You know the membership in the chapter more than the household heads. Would you agree to that? Does that make sense? Makes sense, yeah? If you're a chapter head, you should know your chapter. And you should be the pastoral head of that chapter. So usually, not all the time. I think 99% of the time. Okay? Is that clear? And again, you can ask a senior unit head. It stops there. Don't go down to the household level. You can ask a senior unit head to do it for the intention of him being the potential chapter head. So the same as household. It's going to be the same. If you're asked to do it, it's say when and where. Right away, when we're asked to serve. But it's essentially that, for training and exposure. But,
I just question about this one. Is it for the opening worship only? Because we do in our chapter assembly now they do just the prayer now.
bro, exhortation, worship, was in summary, and ministry. Ideally, it should be you as a chapter head doing all of those, bro. And it's, even the closing prayer. Ideally, that's what is mandated. Ideally, for a chapter assembly, it should be until the unit level. So you're training the unit head to do either one of those. But ideally, you do it all. I mean, it sometimes defeats the purpose of training our unit heads for someone who's serving below us. No, serving below us is not a good word to say, but because it's just trying to empower everyone, but at the same time, being the pastor of the whole chapter, it's your discernment if you want to delegate maybe the prayers or whatever it is that follows after, but really it should be you doing that. It says it's possible to assign a different person as worship leader and another one to do the intercession. But really it should be the unit heads if you want to do that. You can do Unit A for opening worship and Unit B for intercession. But I hope it's clear. It's the mandate from above to pass on to everyone. So there's uniformity. I know it's hard. It might be asking too much for the chapter heads, but don't step down. Whatever chapter you would say, but it makes sense. I understood now when I asked that brother to lead the worship, it should be me, not him. If it makes sense, but it makes sense to me now, not those things, but So the community, the worship leader, then we go to the music ministry. Yeah, I'm so blessed. Like I said, it's a blessing to be able to serve in this capacity in the choir. I think you're also doing that choir, and also last year. It's blessed to be with those guys. And we had a meeting with Royok, and we're really trying to. The plan actually this year was to empower the chapters. But I feel like I need to know more all the chapters because there's so many gifted music ministers all over the UK. I think for the longest time it's been Northeast and somewhere there. And it was really proposed that doing it by chapter or by cluster, I think better. For example, you're in church with the Saturday morning or the whole Saturday, and we delegate mass to even masses, one for Saturday, one for Sunday. I think it makes perfect sense because it's CFC UK. It's not just CFC somewhere there. And we'll try to do it next year. We'll pray for that. And I think with your support, we can do that. We can see the music minister here so empowered to serve. And we'll pray for that. But that's really a blessing for us to be able to lead the assembly to worship. Can the music team choose the songs for worship? No. Yes? No? No?
We can suggest.
Talking about this, I remember bro, Gamsi, sa family meeting Congress, when he gave me the list of the songs, and we talked about it some music when and they were saying that one of the songs were saying if we can possibly change the one of the songs. So I told Brother about that, and you know what the good thing was, if everything is spirit-led and spirit-filled, which is what Brother was trying to teach me that time, because he was saying, bro, I prayed and discerned for it again and again. I think that's what he said, bro. And it led me back to this song. I think God always leads me back to this song. And true enough, there was a reason why. When the actual family makeovers happened, the song he chose that we would have suggested that he change was really the theme of the whole talk, if you can remember well. It was really God's plan. So really we're there to suggest, but really it's up to you as the worship leader to discern, to choose all the songs for the worship. But really that's the importance of prayer. Because it's not just what you want, but it's what you feel God is calling you to do. And I'm so happy for that, that I was able to have that chance to communicate with Bro Gamsi. He actually tried to discern a few songs, bro, that you can change, but he said, bro, it always leads me back to this song. And I was so happy that he did that song. It was so nice to experience that firsthand. So our worship pattern, I think this is the most important part. So we adhere to it. So introduction, of course, we do those. And we do the exhortations. So like what I said, bro, as a chapter leader, essentially, I mean, you don't have to introduce yourself, but if someone can do that, maybe if the sponsoring unit can introduce the chapter, and I think the chapter leader takes from there. Exhortation is basically just to, like I said, to invite the people. And we always say there should be a time limit for the exhortation. We'll talk about that later. What's the time limit? So sign of the cross. Why do we make the sign of the cross? We always do that, but why do we do that? I hope we don't forget. A few times, people forget to make the sign of the cross. Why do we make the sign of the cross, bro? Yeah.
Well, probably that's being a Catholic, and the sign of the cross is like you're glorifying the Trinity.
Yes.
That's Trinitarian in the tradition.
The saying is basically an affirmation of our faith. It's a confirmation about what Jesus has done for us. He died for us. He resurrected. At the same time, he's saying that this worship is offered to you, offered to Him. So that's why we mark ourselves with God's love. We offer the worship to Him. So of course, praising done before and after every fast song. I think we all do that because we praise God. We acknowledge whatever He's done for us. So the first fast song, then praising again. The second fast song, then the praising again. I think that's what we normally do. I think we're all familiar with that. And then the slow song follows after. And that's where we tend to make it, that's like what I said a while ago, the part when we do worship, the 3 levels of worship, praise, then worship. That's when we acknowledge God's presence. That's when we feel that and we respond to that presence. And that's why we sing songs that are addressed in the second person. So you are. What did we sing a while ago? What was that slow song, bro? You are my God. You are my God. So you are my God. So we acknowledge God's goodness and singing of praise, tongues. That's one of the most important but also controversial in CFC, singing of tongues. Because sometimes, especially if no one's there to interpret what's being spoken. But really, I think because God recognizes our inability to worship Him in a supernatural level, so God gave us this gift to worship Him in spirit. I forgot the right verse, but I think it's 1 Corinthians 4:2, and God said that when you sing in tongues, you speak to me directly and not to men. Because when you sing in song, you're singing in spirit to God, so He can understand what we're saying. It's not a gift for everyone, but that's for a different talk about tongues. So why 3 songs? Why do you think it has to be 3 songs? For the lang? Why do you think 3 songs, bro, with the look at you look there. Bro, Oliver, why do you think 3 songs?
We get to like a open, when we come in the presence of the Lord, we open it.
Yeah.
And then we close. But I don't know the third one.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Of the Lord, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
One is not enough, 4 is too much.
So please don't.
It's just to build up.
Build up, yeah. That's very good, bro. Building up. In the manual it says about the temple plan illustration. I'm not sure if you know about that. Yeah, I think programs knows about that. The temple plan. That's how they do worship before. That's the importance of the gathering song. Because once the music band plays the gathering song, it signals the assembly to settle down. You might be cooking or doing anything else, but settle down. That's the essence of the gathering song. We tend to overlook that, yeah? It's like there's a practice or something, but it should really signal, that one, the assembly that we're coming into God's place, into the temple. That's how they do worship before, entering the temple. So really this signals the assembly to get ready. And other times we overlook that with our business, with everything going on, we tend to Can you see this? Yeah, sorry. So the first fast song is sung here when we enter into the outer courts. So of course, that's why a gathering song should be jubilant and exciting and lively, because we are meant to be excited to see God. So please don't sing slow songs for gathering song. It should be a fast song, and of course here, so after the first fast song, we tend to go into the inner courts. Still we are on the high. We keep singing the praise of the fast songs. Then we go to the inner court, and before we go into the holiest of holies, the tabernacle here, that's when we slow down. And that's the essence of really trying to be able to understand that it's not about us anymore. Of course, here it's about us. It's about us being called to meet God. But once we enter the inner court, we are meant to be prepared to go in there, to have a reverent and more attitude of posture coming in here. So that's basically the illustration why we have to fast in one stove. That's what our elders built up on to give us a pattern of worship. So gathering song, 3 plus. It's hard because there's plus. 3 plus minutes. It can be like 5 minutes because there's 3 plus minutes. Exhortation, no longer than 5 minutes. Agree or?
Yeah, it depends.
Anyone doing more than 5 minutes? It depends.
Because if you're sharing your life story, something like that, then you can adapt it.